Hello, today I found this document and it's a car jack assembly, and I wanted to go through and try to build this in 3 different CAD systems. Today I will be building it in NX, so it's Siemens NX, but I will be building, I believe, in version 2024. So I will start on each of these and build them, and I will build these in SolidWorks and Onshape. So first will be NX, then SolidWorks, then Onshape. And I may just do one piece at a time, and then I'll see, which one is the most relevant and will benefit, the new users the best. So the first one here is the project 1, which is P1-3. And this is the jack base, so it's this guy right here. So I'm glad they created this little view, because all I got was this. You can't really see everything. They should have had a orthographic view or something. Anyway, we can use this as our starting shape and use that as a reference right there, and we'll start building this. So let's open up the Siemens NX. All right, so we have I just created a new one called jack base. So file, new. Inside of here, I'm going to go to model. I like to work in millimeters. Model 1, and I just put in, I can do it right here. So jack base 1. Okay, so now we can get started. Let me put on my second screen the PDF so I can get the dimensions. So if you want, you can take a screenshot, or you can download the PDF that I include. So let's start building. All right, first of all, we want to choose our plane in which to build on. So I'm going to choose this ZX plane. All right, so we're going to create a sketch, and we're going to sketch it on this front plane right here, and say okay. So now we can start building our jack. So first of all, I will build like a quadrant of this. I will concentrate only on one area of this. I can start with the outside and then I'll erase, I'll trim it. I think that's the easiest way to do it. So I'm going to start with that. So it's going to be a rectangle from the very center, and choose this rectangle, choose this one right here from center, choose that guy, and we can just put in anything we want, and then we'll go in and we'll fix this in a second. So I'll click off that, and we can just click on these edges, and it automatically gives me this dimension. So that was 150, and you're editing the first dimension, so now it will scale the entire sketch. Yes. All right, so now we know it's 150, and then we'll choose, let's hit escape to get out of that, and we can just click here and here, and now we get this green one right here. This one's going to be, I'm going to go with the maximum, or I'm sorry, I'm going to go with the minimum, which is 60. Okay, so escape to get out of that. So this is the very start of the base. Okay, if I can squeeze this in. Okay, so now I can take this, and I want to create a angle here, angle that goes up, and then we're going to go up to 120. So let's do that. So let's just taken from a random point going straight up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of hover over this guy, and we could see those dotted lines right there. So we want to see those dotted lines. So I just clicked on that, and it allowed me to snap it right to this, basically that surface right there, that edge. Now I'm going to click on that, and 1 second, go back and get in line here, click there to here. All right, so now we created that line. So now we want to trim this area out, so we'll hit the T or trim command right here. So we can just hover over and slice right through. Just click, hold, and drag, and it cuts out that area. All right, so now we want to we want to go with, this is 120, so let's create a dimension on there. Where's my dimension? Right way over here. Relax dimensions. So we're going to go from here to here, that tip right there, and that's going to be, I'm going to try that again, here to here, and it's in the green. I'm going to double click on that guy. Okay, change it to 120. Okay, and escape to get out of that. Then I want to go with this right here is 75, so we want to kind of divide that in half. So we're going to create a line from the very center here, straight up, and we're going to escape out of that. We're going to make this a reference line. So left click, right click, and reference, convert to reference. Now I want to go and choose this point to this point right here. So relax dimension here to here. It says 25. So I'm going to go with the 75, and then we're going to say 75 divided by 2, and it will do the math for us. And it's saying, do you want to, if you want to start the formula with an equals character to create an expression, so it's okay. I just say okay there, and there's that one. I'm going to hit escape to get out of that one, so it broke it down automatically. And now I can take this dimension, I can get it a little better visible. This one, not that one. I want Control Z to undo that. So I just want to click on that guy and pull him up. Okay. So now I want to make a round right here. So that round is radius of R10, and then we get 2 of those. So we'll do that one. Yep. So here we go. We're going to go with a fillet here to here, and we'll just type in 10. Enter, and then escape to get out of that. So there's our general shape. Okay, so now we got this right here, we got that, and you know, so we got most of it. So now I'm going to create one more reference line to go through here. So let's go over here to line, click on that center circle right there, pull that out, escape, left click, right click, convert to reference. Okay, so now we got 2 references. Now we're going to go trim over here. Trim that, and trim this, trim this, trim this. There we are. Now we have to mirror this, so we can mirror this about this line and mirror it about that line. So we will go to this mirror function right here. So let's choose our curves to mirror. We can hover over all 3. Should highlight all 3, but it's only gonna, so we'll just do that. I'm going to hit shift and click on this guy and uncheck that guy. Okay. For some reason that one's sticking to it. That one, it should be okay, because this was a construction line. Should not be it should be a reference line. Let's double check that. Yeah, it's dotted. So dotted lines are reference. So that should be okay. Let's verify. Let's click here. That's fine. Let's go center line is this guy right here. Okay. Okay. Apply. And then we're going to mirror this about this line. So let's do this guy. Let's hover all, click there, and then center line this guy. Okay, so there we go. Now we have our piece. It's the outside of this outline of that, and then we can add this R10. I forgot to add that, but we can do that right now. So let me go to fillet. I could type in 10, and they all updated because they're all mirrored. Okay, get out of that, and now we can finish the sketch. Now we have a sketch. It's still highlighted, by the way, so it's orange. That means it's kind of selected. So now I want to extrude that sketch up 40 millimeters, this 40 right here. So let's go to extrude, and we're going to put in 40. Say okay. And there's my 40 millimeters. Let me use my middle mouse button to, I'm going to hold down my middle mouse button, and it allows me to do that rotation right there. So I can rotate it and get it into this view right here. Okay, and if you want to get it in the best view, you click right there and it snaps it to there right there. Perfect. So now, let me see what else we got to do here. So now we need to hollow this guy out. We're going to have a thickness of 7 millimeters left. So let's go over to shell. We're going to shell this right here, and then 7 millimeters, say okay. So now it hollowed it out. Unfortunately, I think, let me click on these. This is build my tree right here. So actually I want to undo that one. There's something that I want to do before that shell, and that is I want to chamfer this edge right here. So to chamfer the edge, I'm going to put a 37.5 millimeter chamfer on there. So let's do that right now. Chamfer. And here's where you may have different than I. A lot of times it's on tangent edges. So this is what we don't want. We don't want to see tangent edges. We actually want to see single edge. So click right there. And I'm going to hit cancel here. I'm going to go redo that chamfer. And I'm going to make sure it says single edge here. 37.5. Click on that edge. Click on this edge. Say okay. Now we can do the hollow, the shell command. Clicking there, there, there. 7 millimeters. Okay. There's our general shape. Okay. And you can do a rotation with your middle, hold down the middle mouse button, like I said. And you can zoom in by using the zoom, you know, the scroll wheel on the mouse. So there's that piece. Okay. So now looks like we have 2 holes to put inside of here. 2 12 millimeter holes. Let's position those 20 millimeters by 35. So we'll divide that 35 by 2. So right now we will create a sketch on this surface right here. So let's go sketch. Create and sketch on that surface. Okay. And now I actually want to create a couple lines for like a reference lines. So let's start with here. Okay, and then looks like that wasn't perfect. It's not on there perfectly. So let's Control Z that. Let's go back out of the sketch. Let's see if I can create like a point here. Curve, line, or point. I want a point, yeah, 0, 0, 0, perfect. There we go. Now we want to create a line from that point, straight up. In the Y, yes, perfect. And then from that same point, clicking on that point, and then scrolling over, you see it locked to the X. That's exactly what I want. Distance doesn't matter. All right, so now we should go back to that sketch. And now we have these 2 new lines, okay? So we should be able to reference back to those lines. So let's create a circle. Here's circle number 1. And then we can do a mirror about this after we're done positioning this. So, okay, click OK. We're going to click on this guy and we're going to dimension him. He's going to be 12. Yep, 2 by, yep. So double click, 12. Enter. This time I don't want it to scale, I don't think. Let's check. Yeah. If it scales the whole thing, I don't want that. I just want to scale that little circle right there, not everything else. So we'll throw everything out of skew once I do that. Let's hit escape to get out of that. There we are. Okay, so I found the bottom line. So now I want to take that, and that's going to be that 20 millimeters right there. Double click, type 20, enter, escape, and now we can position it here to here. Okay, it's not liking those 2 lines that I just created for some reason. But let me see if I can find like a center point of this guy. There we go. All right, and that's actually everything I need. So that one I'm going to change to, I think this at 35 divided by 2. Say okay. It's just talking about the expression thing again. Okay. And there we got our first circle. All right, and now we can mirror that circle. So let's go over to mirror. Curve to select curve. Select center line. I clicked on that. And then we click on this line if we can. It's not letting me click on that line. So let's cancel all that. Let's create a new line. Actually, here's what we can do. We should be able to use this as like a reference or project this to our sketch. So projector curve, like that. Click this guy. No, doesn't like that. Doesn't like my curve. That's very strange. All right, anyway, let's just create a line from this point right here all the way up again. Not sure why it's not letting me do that, but all right, and I want to make this reference. Left click, right click, reference it. Okay, mirror it. Now we can do that mirror. Click on that, select the center line, this guy. Okay, there's our two circles. They should be exactly the same. Now let's finish the sketch. Now we will go to extrude these out. So let's go home. Let's go to extrude. Grab this guy. Both of them will pop, and then I can rotate it. Now I want it to go the opposite way. So let me go over here to flip this right here, specify vector. Okay, and then I want to choose the Boolean, and I want to do a subtraction. So it's going to subtract from this guy right here. And then I want to end. I want it to go until selected. So now I go to where I want it to finish. So I'm going to click on this wall right here. So I want it to go through this one and then through that one, subtract it, no draft, and just say okay. And there we are. So that's our piece. Let's go over here. So this is a section view, by the way. They don't properly show that it is a section view. They don't have an A or B or anything. They just cut it in half and didn't tell you. So yeah, so we are pretty much done. One thing, if we want to double check and if we want to start drafting this, we can go in the drafting part. So let's do that. Okay, so to get into drafting, I will go File, I will go Control-Shift-D, and size of paper, A3, sounds good. Close, and now we can drop our piece in here. So it's not sure which one. Yeah, it's going to be this guy, this front. And it's a little large. I can make it smaller. And we notice how we don't have a section view, but here's what we can do. We can click on this guy, delete that guy, and we can make our own section inside of here. I want to go to a section view. I want to go dynamic, put it right there, and then pull down, and there's our section view. Okay, click OK, close. So it's a simple section view. All right, and if we want to make this a little bit smaller, we can just two times click. We can go over here to general, and we can change that scale to a little bit smaller. And this guy only updated, so we have to update this guy too. So two times click, general, scale 1 to 2, okay, and now we're good. And then these automatically adjust to each other. So I don't like this line showing up. Drafting line, maybe I can hide that. So to hide that, I can actually go back to my model. So M to get back to the model, and then I can click on this guy and this guy and these. I'll just hit Control B for hiding those. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to drafting, so I can hit Control Shift D to get back to drafting, or I go back File, Drafting. And those are still there, but I can update my views, and they disappeared now. So that's cool. So this here is, it doesn't say out of date before it said out of date. So now we can start dimensioning. If we want to get rid of that dot right there, we can do the same thing. Control B to hide it on the modeling side. So now we want to build the dimensions. So here's a few dimensions. So go linear, here to here. This should be 60. This theoretical sharp should be 120. So to get that theoretical sharp, we would find the intersection. So what we have to do is first object, and this guy right here. we're gonna have to go to this right here, to curve intersection. We're gonna click on that guy, and we have to do it one more time. Click on that, click over here, click on this guy, this guy, and we got our 120. 180. Let me check something. Ah, I see. All right, so I have a mistake. So let's go back. Let's fix that. So let's go into our modeling. So we can hit M, or we can go to File, Modeling. Okay, and then we will go to our original sketch. And then we will make this dimension here all the way up there. We will change that to 120. So this is going to be 60. So here to that theoretical sharp is 60. So let's get rid of that dimension right there. Radial dimension, deleting that. Radial dimension, delete. Yes, okay. So now we can actually extend these. We could take this and extend it. Actually, we're going to do a corner. So here and here, there we go. So it did our corners, perfect. So now we want to take a dimension. So let's do the dimension, relax dimension. This line to here. I want to there. Escape all that. Let's try it again. This guy, we're going to click here. Then we're going to click that very tip right there. Perfect. Yeah, see how that says 90? We don't want that. Click that again. For some reason it disappeared. 90, click on that 90 right there. Just hover over till it turns red. Click on the 90 linear dimension. We're going to double, yep, so we're going to change that to 60. So that was our issue. Okay, enter, escape. Okay, and now we have that sharp edge right there. We can add that radius again. And why is that radius right there? We can click on that, delete that. Now we're going to redo that fillet. We're going to click on this guy. We're going to drag him out of here. And we're going to fix that right there. So let's put the fillet. You can type in 10, enter, escape to get out of that. They're all updating at the same time, which is good. Now we can get out of the sketch, finish, no. Okay, so now we are going to go to drafting again. So file, drafting, or Control Shift D. And we see how this is out of date. We will go over here to update views. Okay, and now we can fix this dimension. Actually, it already updated, so it now is 120. So 120 right here. Okay, we got 60. And then we get our R10s, R10, total width is 150, so let's fix the 150, or let's check the 150. There we are, we're good there. Okay, go back, and then we can check our section views. Okay, and then we can go here from dead center to this guy is 35, or is 35 to both. There we are. This dimension to here, 7. This dimension to here, 20. And this dimension to here, 40. If we want to put a 2x on there, we can go here, click, double click this one right here. We're going to put 2x. Enter. Escape. And we can drag, click and hold and drag and pull it out. Okay. We can fix these dimensions. And let's see what else we got. We got 75 to put in. Check the 37.5. Okay. We got 7, 20, 40. Now we're just going to do, we got 35 already, so 57.5 now. From this circle to the edge, let's do that. All right, so we are complete. If we want to get rid of a couple of these little dots and stuff, we can go back into our modeling. So that's M to get back into modeling, or file, modeling. Modeling would be here. We're already in modeling. So then we could, so some of these things, yeah, we can hide the sketch. Click on the sketch itself. Hit B, click on there, and we'll click on here. We're going to do a Control B, hide those. What hide is like, let's think of a piece of paper and you're looking at the back side of a piece of paper. So on the back side, if you hit Control Shift B, we're looking at the back side of that piece of paper, right? Now if we hit Control Shift B, it flips the piece of paper back over, and now we're looking at the opposite side. So now we can see the top, and everything is perfectly clear. So we're going to hit M for model, or we're going to go over here and go to File, Model. Actually, we're in model. We're going to go to drafting. Sorry. So to get into drafting, we're going to get in the drafting right there, like that. And we're out of date. We need to go over here. We need to update our view. It's okay. And now this one looks like it is broken a little bit. So we just got to re-click on that guy, and he's back. This guy's broken. Dotted lines mean they're broken. So something broke while I updated it, but now it's okay. So now we can just click on these edges and refresh them. That became 0. Control Z, get back. Just double click on that guy. One of the select first object, this guy. Now it's back. Close. Double click. This guy. Here. Close. All right. Click. Click. Okay, close. And we are set. So that is the jack bottom. Or that is the jack base. So hopefully this video was beneficial, and it taught you how to create this in Siemens NX. I will continue on with the additional parts of this, and we'll build this jack together and assemble it. In the final step, we will assemble this. All right, so yeah, hopefully this video was beneficial and taught you something. And yeah, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.